Alright, so we got the 242 spoilers, and this chapter is continuing Kenjaku versus Takaba, and it's just as wild as the last couple have been. Although I promise you it's a much better chapter than the previous one was, at least in my opinion. But anyway, coming off of the previous chapter, we saw Kenjaku coming close to defeating Takaba, I guess. Like, Takaba was at the point of where he was giving up, I suppose. Bowing down. Until he had like a breakthrough, and at the end of the chapter he was like, I'm gonna make you laugh your guts out. That's my brand of comedy. And Kenjaku's like, but can you make me do that? So coming into this chapter, Kenjaku is like summoning his special grade named Akuro Ohotake. It's like Kenjaku has all these special grade just in his barrel. And it's like, you got Michizane Sugawara in there too. Can you just bust him out so we can see like the other sorcerers fight somebody, please? But this new special grade, it was all for naught because it is instantly getting crushed by Takaba's truck. Like, Takaba is manifesting this massive jujutsu truck with his curse technique and just splattering this special grade curse. So yeah, I guess this shows what it would be like if Takaba fought a special grade curse. He would just one-shot it. And I'm not even going to say this confirms Takaba is a special grade, because we already knew that he was. Like, as soon as his curse technique was explained, we already knew what the deal was with him. But I'm glad that Kege put that out there, because we needed a jobbing for Takaba. But anyway, things get interesting from now on, so don't get confused. This is Miyamura's notes. Kenny then becomes a police officer as he arrives to investigate. He alleges Takaba of drinking and driving and asks Takaba to breathe into a bag to check his blood alcohol level. The bag in which Kenny asks Takaba to blow air into contains a goldfish, and Kenjaku says that if it dies, then he's arresting Takaba, but it's already dead prior to their convo. That's actually really funny. Takaba and Kenny both become doctors later and try to treat the fish, but Kenny charges defibrillators on Takaba. So yeah, what's going on here is some kind of reality manipulation or something from like both ends. There could be some barrier manipulation going in here, or it's just entirely Takaba. Kenjaku tries to explain it a little more going further into the chapter, but this is like full Bobobo stuff. Like, I actually read a chapter of it earlier, and I looked through some clips because I was doing some research on that Gojo possibly coming back to life video I made. And this is like, yeah, full Bobobo, where it's essentially like a collection of non sequitur, nonsensical panels. They fail to rescue the fish, and this gets Takaba depressed. But Kenny turns into a nurse, which Takaba doesn't find funny and yells at Kenny. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Factor. Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. Also, if you're familiar with HelloFresh, which I've also used before and love, Factor is in partnership with them. Their team of gourmet chefs create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. This November, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no mess. And if you're looking for special occasion meals during the holidays, you can level up with Gourmet Plus options, prepared to perfection by chefs and ready to eat in record time. Enjoy premium ingredients like broccolini, leeks, truffle butter, and asparagus. I also had the chorizo chili with shredded cheese and scallion sour cream, and this hit different. Love the portion on this, and this chili was just so flavorful with so much shredded cheese, and the scallion sour cream really took it to the next level. I also tried the jalapeno lime cheddar chicken with spicy cilantro cauliflower rice. As always with Factor, the chicken is cooked perfectly, and the lime cheddar and the spicy cilantro cauliflower rice goes together so well with the chicken. This is just overall a great dish. So guys, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code Zhoniin50 to get 50% off of your first Factor box. That's such a great offer. And again, it's code Zhoniin50 to to get 50% off of your first Factor box. Thanks, guys. So this is interesting, actually, when we see Kenjaku become a nurse here, because he looks like a woman. And I think this could be Gege maybe hinting at who Kenjaku truly is, and it's very possible that he is like inherently a woman, like the way that Tengen was. And I think that would be a pretty cool twist. Like, Kenjaku is not just a big bad villain guy, he's actually a woman this whole time. And maybe there was also another little hint at it when we saw that Kenjaku became Yuji's mom, like when he took over Kaori's body to give birth to him. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't prove it. And it could just be because, you know, Kenjaku's a psychopath. But also, if you think about it, if you've lived for over 1,000 years, the prospect of like taking over a woman and giving birth is probably exciting. Kenjaku and Takaba then play rock, paper, scissors, and it ultimately ends with them both like picking each other's noses with scissors. Kenjaku realizes that Takaba's curse technique isn't just about forceful materialization of Takaba's imagination. It also affects the opponent's imagination and uses it. So this is what I was talking about. It's like double manifestation, which is really powerful. I mean, it's one thing if you're just manifesting your own imagination, but now you're forcing your opponent to as well against their will. Like, this is, man, I don't want to say it's the strongest curse technique, but I guess you can make an argument that it is. But this also makes me wonder about Takaba in general, because going back to the original narration that we got on his curse technique, it said that he's clueless about his curse technique. And that was never fully explained what that meant. I just assumed it meant that he doesn't know what his ability is or how it works, because I guess that's the implication there, right? And so it's like, what does Takaba think is happening here? Like, all of this crazy Bobobo stuff, like, is he just like, oh, this is fun, we're just having fun? Like, how are you not aware of what's going on at this point? Unless he is, but he's just like Michael Scott from The Office or something. But anyway, Takaba and Kenjaku are now playing quiz game. And it eventually comes down to like Takaba getting asked about nuclear physics, and Kenjaku knows the answer, of course, but Takaba doesn't. Then the host, MC, I guess that's what he says here, Master of Ceremonies, not main character, then asks the participants to choose the correct door, which is difficult to tell of the others. Self-recommendation or designated school recommendation? Oh, this is like a Japanese college entrance thing. Both Kenny and Takaba rush towards the door, saying the question was easy. I don't know, maybe this is like a hilarious Japanese joke, you know, if you went to college in Japan or something. Just as he was about to rush, Takaba hears someone yelling for help. He then notices a cat in the middle of the road while a taxi is about to hit it. Takaba runs to save it, but the cat turns out to be Kenjaku, and Takaba gets hit by the car instead. They are now in the sea, and Takaba runs over to Kenjaku with a water bike. I think he means a jet ski. And he like hits Kenjaku with the jet ski. It's hard to make out, but I'm pretty sure he's like hitting him with it. And then in the next page, they're like playing with water, you know, like kids do in the pool, like splashing each other and smiling and having a good time. And Kenjaku starts thinking, it's so fun. How many years has it been since I've been this excited? I'm glad I started it. The calling games. Then Kenjaku suddenly realizes his thoughts got manipulated again and attacks Takaba. This is actually really funny because it's like them both being all happy and cheery, and then once Kenjaku realizes it, he just starts drowning Takaba. It looks so funny. Like just forcing his head into the water. Takaba stops Kenjaku and asks him to drink the ocean water. It turns out to be Fanta. Kenjaku realizes that he will lose at this point. All these countless scenarios are just simulation for Takaba, but Kenjaku is steadily accumulating damage. Wow, Kenjaku actually admitting that he could lose this and that he has been taking damage throughout all of this. I mean, he kind of has. He got hit with the jet ski, but that's about it. You know what? Actually, something happened with the rock, paper, scissors and the quiz show game thing. It's hard to make out, but I'll just go over it more so in my chapter review later this week. But to be honest, Kenjaku hasn't really taken that much damage from what I'm aware. I mean, he took way more against Choso and Tsukumo. Like, way more. but maybe there was some kind of discrepancy between the damage that we're able to see and whatever this simulation that he's being ran through can provide. But anyway, Kenjaku realizes that this fight won't end until Takaba's desire for comedy is filled. So Kenny decides to suit up, and Kenjaku invites Takaba for a final stage battle. No break next week. So yeah, as Miyamura is pointing out, the final panel here of Kenjaku and Takaba in suits on stage in front of an audience resembles that chapter promo art I think that we got around the Hidden Inventory era, with Geto and Gojo on stage, like in suits in front of a microphone. Like, I guess this is like a comedy act thing. It's common in Japan for like there to be comedy duos like doing stand up at the same time, you know. Now I guess this is Kenjaku using Takaba's ability to his advantage and making this simulation so that he can defeat him with it, or this is like Kenjaku's barrier technique that he used against Choso to deliver all of that exposition. Not really sure, but it seems like the next chapter is going to be the end, and I'm thinking that Kenjaku has to win or weasel his way out of this in some way, right? There's no way that Takaba can defeat Kenjaku because it just steals the thunder of so many other storylines and characters, and we haven't seen the big curse abomination thing from Tengen merging with Japan, and that would be a crime against writing if that does not come to fruition after how much it's been mentioned. But yeah, like I said, I'll go more into this once we get the full chapter. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, guys, and if you liked it, please give it a like, please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.